continuing my story, at the end of the 9th grade, I was automatically transferred to a high school without even attending the 9th grade. That's how LAUSD don't care about the kids back then, and probably even now, I don't know. But I was supposed to go to Crenshaw High School, but because I changed addresses, I ended up going to LA High School. Because at this time I ended up living in Arlington and Pico. But that's one thing that I kept moving around, so I really had no allegiance to no neighborhood, because I kept moving around everywhere. And so I just made friends everywhere, And during this time, is when I ended up going to juvenile hall. One day we went somewhere on the bus to the Beverly Center and by Beverly Hills. And then on the way back, my buddy started putting graffiti all over the bus. So the bus driver, he noticed, and he just locked the doors and started speeding up until LAPD caught up to him. And as soon as they caught up to him, he stopped the bus and he opened the doors, and they were in there in seconds. Took us in, took me to Wilshire Station. And during this time, well, we never had a phone or a vehicle at my house. And then, so they couldn't contact none of my parents, which was my mom. I only grew up with my mother. So then they end up taking me to East Lake Juvenile Hall. But I ended up being there just one whole day. But that was enough for me. One whole day, I was like, all day, I was like, oh, I ain't gonna do this. I'm gonna be good. I'm not, I don't want to live like this. And, I was already like thinking of, what am I doing here? What is this? So then we end up, my mother finally came the next day, and she had to go through so much trouble to go get me. And I remember thinking of that, hey, why did I do that, man? I put my mom through all this trouble, and after I was released, I was still on probation for 6 months. I had to do community service, I had to go to court, all this, and we had to take a bus everywhere we went. So I had to put her through all that, and with my brother and sister. They were around at this time. So, I was a kid that needed some guidance, But that's what I put my mom through, and I always remember that. Even to this day, I always remember, like, man, I should have had my head straight. But that's just a story throughout when I was starting the 10th grade. So that was the beginning of 10th grade.